Go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Neely, and I'll be your storyteller today. So let's focus on where our story takes place. I'm going to use our bag of sand to tell our story. And our story is about Jesus and Joseph and Mary traveling from their home in Nazareth all the way to a larger city called Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem is a beautiful temple, and there they will celebrate Passover, which is remembering when God saved his people in Egypt from slavery. So I've chosen to have sand here because the trip from Nazareth to Jerusalem takes quite a long time, and it goes past the Jordan River where there would be sand. So on the way there, they will travel on what's called the Jordan Way. And there's a path leading to Jerusalem. And on this path, I have a smooth stone to represent going past the Jordan River, and a rather rocky stone to show as they approach Jerusalem that they literally have to climb some mountains. Now, in Jerusalem is the temple, and that's a holy place. And there are teachers at the temple. They are called rabbis, and they love to tell the stories of God's love for his people. Then, beginning in Nazareth, we have Joseph and Mary and Jesus. And I put Jesus out in front this time because as a child, he would normally be at the back. But now he is 12 years old. And at age 12, this makes him a man. So he can begin to lead the family. But they're not going alone. They have friends and neighbors, all from Nazareth, that are traveling with them. So their journey begins, and they travel along the river, the Jordan River, for probably 2 or 3 days. And then they climb the hills up to Jerusalem, where they will reach the temple. And you'll notice that Jesus is right up in front. He is very interested in the stories that the rabbis will tell, and the rabbis tell them to everyone. But he's particularly shown an extra interest at age 12. After the story time has ended, everyone goes to celebrate the Passover. And they've gone to maybe a neighbor's home, not too far from the temple, and they enjoy food and drink and companionship. But you'll notice that Jesus, while he's in the group, is actually looking towards the temple. I wonder what that will mean for us and for him. So after 2 or 3 days of celebration, the group, friends, neighbors, Joseph and Mary, all get ready to leave and go back home. But the group is large enough that they assume that Jesus is with the group. And so as they travel almost a day, they notice that Jesus is not with them. And look where he has gone. He's gone back to the temple. So Mary and Joseph ask about where Jesus is from their friends, neighbors. They travel this way and that. And at the end, by about 3 days, they finally end up at the temple. And there they find Jesus. I'm sure they were very relieved. But Mary says Where have you been? We have looked everywhere for you. We are so worried. And Jesus responds to his parents by saying, why did you look everywhere for me? Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house? Well, this is puzzling for Mary and Joseph, and they just don't quite understand what Jesus is telling them. But it's time for all of them to return home. So they begin their journey again, now probably just with the three of them, going back and forth till they arrive back in Nazareth. And you'll notice too that they have what I would say are cloaks on, and that's because the time that they go to Jerusalem and back is in kind of a cold period of time. So these are really heavy cloaks that will keep them warm when they sleep on their way there. So when they returned, Jesus, now at 12, has grown a good bit, but he continues to grow and get taller and stronger. He grew in wisdom and love also. And he was loved by God, and he was loved by the people of Nazareth. This ends our story for today, but I have some wondering questions, and I think they're very good ones. I wonder how Jesus felt when he was finally old enough to go to Jerusalem really on his own. I wonder how Mary and Joseph felt when they couldn't find Jesus. I wonder why Jesus was surprised when his parents didn't know where he was. And I wonder what Jesus really meant when he called the temple his Father's house. These are questions for us to think about with the story, and hopefully together we'll have some answers. Thank you so much for listening to the story of the Holy Family's travel, and I hope you will come again next week. We will enjoy seeing you. Bye-bye. God bless.